So this is going to be a little bit of a different video than what I usually do, but if I'm honest, I highly doubt anyone's going to watch this video anyway, but I just couldn't help but not talk about this today. This is definitely not going to be any kind of professional video, and I am going into this with absolutely no script whatsoever, so forgive me if some parts of it sound a bit awkward or strange. But with all that shit out the way, let's get straight into some more shit. So I'm sure, as many of you have already heard from much bigger, much better YouTubers, the UK and US government are now rolling out ID verifications across all kinds of fucking social media platforms and websites. YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, anywhere you go on the internet these days, if they suspect you're under 16, you better show your ID or face the consequences. Or just use characters from Gmod. Yeah, I still can't believe that a 2025 AI was bested by a game from 2006. They claim it's all in the name of protecting the children and the young minds online. But of course, everybody knows the real reason is mass surveillance. I and many other people grew up in a time when the internet was still kind of a niche thing among people. Like, it used to be this fun little virtual world that anybody can jump into, surf through all kinds of different websites, play some random games like Club Penguin or Moshi Monsters, watch some random Flash animations or Angry Video Game Nerd or Nostalgia Critic or whatever it may be. It was such a fun time. But then, of course, it had its throat slit by capitalism, and everything that I just listed is not really a thing anymore. There's no more fun little websites you can go on just for the hell of it. There's no more little Flash games that any kid can pick up and play. Everything nowadays has to be an app, a sign-up, a subscription service, or whatever it may be to harvest your data. Now, many of the things I listed are still on the internet to this day in some way, shape, or form, but they're a lot harder to come by and they're a lot fewer in numbers compared to back in the day. Because everything on the internet nowadays is controlled by corporations and algorithms. If it doesn't favor the algorithm, it can go fuck itself. And for those reasons, without sounding too dramatic, I believe that the death of Flash Player was the beginning of the end for the internet. Nowadays, your only options are really the only big social media websites that are invaded by both adults and kids alike. There aren't really any online spaces for kids anymore, so they all just spend their time on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, which can obviously be very damaging for a child's mental health or development, or anybody's mental health really. And it certainly doesn't help that literally everything these days is controlled by the internet, and we have a little square internet machine in the palm of our hand 24/7. But people will do literally everything except just not give their kid a smartphone. The kind of content that kids can be exposed to these days on Reddit, Instagram Reels, or even the YouTube Kids app, which YouTube seems to have completely forgot about, is genuinely worrying. Like, back in my day, we had stuff like Best Gore and LiveLeak, but you really had to go out of your way to actually find those kinds of websites and videos. The tough search for something that taboo was half the fun. Nowadays, social media websites can legitimately push gore and porn into your feed, and that's seen as normal. Kids should not be on social media consuming that kind of content 24/7. But literally the simple, straightforward solution is just don't give your damn kid a smartphone. The government doesn't give a shit about what kind of content your kids consume. Parents are responsible for what their kids are consuming on their iPad or iPhone 24/7. But in 2025 land, the internet and smartphones are seen as permanent babysitters. And that is why they're trying to pass this off as an online safety act for kids. They want to monitor you and keep an eye out for everything you do 24/7 and censor anything and everything that might talk ill of them. The UK government is even apparently considered a dictatorship now. My cousin moved to England not too long ago. I wonder if she regrets it at all. All of this is apparently supposed to take effect in Australia in December of 2025, so I am not going to hand over my ID or facial recognition to the government, obviously. If anything, I'm taking this as an opportunity to detox from the internet for a while and go straight back to the 2000s. Now, with all that out of the way, here I am, a few days later. I would like to talk about the other side of the 2025 internet coin, AI slop. It seems like everywhere you look these days, whether online or in the real world, you come across so much AI generated crap that you wonder how the hell they even get away with this. YouTube, Pinterest, Etsy, fucking Spotify. You see so many AI generated scams that can easily fool someone if they're not paying attention or if they don't know too much about this stuff. You begin to second guess every photo and video that you scroll past. And the technology is only getting better. It's only a matter of time before it's completely indistinguishable from reality. Any motherfucker will be able to do any horrible thing they want with it, and there'll be almost no way to tell the difference. Literally the only people who I have heard say positive things about AI are out-of-touch billionaires who only care about saving a few cents, or fucking morons who don't actually appreciate the time and effort it takes to create art. They only see it as a result. I remember when the first version of ChatGPT came out, back in mid-2023, while I was doing a hospitality course. The person next to me always very openly admitted that he used ChatGPT to get through all of his homework. He even used it to do a lot of his assignments during class. He would copy and paste the question, put it into ChatGPT, and copy and paste what ChatGPT says into the goddamn website. Despite how much he openly admitted to it, he still passed as far as I know. As I said, that was with the very earliest version of ChatGPT, and here we are just 2 years later with ChatGPT 5, which can apparently do coding on prompt. It was at this point when I began to ask myself, you can't unironically try and tell me that the people behind all these chatbots, Midjourney, Grok, ChatGPT, whatever it may be, you can't try and tell me that they are completely oblivious to the negative impact they're having on the world. Like, I understand that rich people and CEOs constantly have their heads jammed up their own asses, but like, come on, are they intentionally trying to make humans obsolete? Are they intentionally trying to make the world a much shittier place than it already is? It's estimated that 99% of all internet content by 2026 will be AI generated slop. And I can imagine that as every single website on the internet looking like how Facebook looks now. So if these age verification systems don't kill the internet, the AI slop and bot bullshit will. Now, there has already been many videos on this matter, and I am obviously very late to the party, so I don't want to just take everything that they say word for word, but I really wanted to discuss this before it was too late. All we can really do is hope for the best. And so, I will leave you with this one final thought. Do you think if Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and all the other Steves that worked at Apple knew the kind of world that they would create when they invented the iPhone in the mid-2000s, do you think that they would have tore it all to the ground like in Terminator 2? But that's really all I have to say, so in case this really is the end of the internet, quote unquote, all I can really say is thank you all for being such a brilliant community. Thank you all for all the memories and laughs and good times we've all had on the internet. The internet has helped me through so many tough times and given me so many hours of joy throughout my entire life. It was a fun ride while it lasted, and we can hope that one day it will be returned to its former glory. Take care and good luck.